Long before cities, before writing, before kings and empires, there was Göbekli Tepe, on a quiet limestone hill in southeastern Anatolia, overlooking the Harran Plain, stands one of the most mysterious archaeological sites ever discovered. A place so old that it rewrites everything we thought we knew about human history. Göbekli Tepe dates back to around 9,500 BCE, more than 11,500 years ago. That makes it older than Stonehenge, older than the pyramids of Egypt, and older than any known city on Earth. At a time when humans were believed to be simple hunter-gatherers, Göbekli Tepe was already home to monumental stone architecture. And this is where the mystery begins. A hill that should not exist. The name Göbekli Tepe means potbelly hill. From the outside, it looks unremarkable, just a rounded mound rising from the landscape. But beneath this hill lies something extraordinary. Archaeological surveys and excavations revealed massive circular structures made of stone, each containing T-shaped pillars, some weighing over 10 tons. These pillars were carved from solid limestone, using only stone tools. No metal, no wheels, no beasts of burden. And yet they were transported, erected, and arranged with precision. This alone raises a question that still echoes through archaeology today. Why would hunter-gatherers build something like this? The oldest megaliths in the world, the T-shaped pillars of Göbekli Tepe, are the oldest known megaliths ever discovered. Some stand over 5 meters tall. Many are decorated with detailed carvings. Lions, foxes, snakes, boars, vultures, spiders, and scorpions. These are not random decorations. They are deliberate, symbolic, and deeply meaningful. Unlike later civilizations, Göbekli Tepe shows almost no scenes of daily life. No farming scenes, no hunting scenes. Instead, we see powerful animals, predators, creatures that inspire fear and respect. This suggests that Göbekli Tepe was not a village in the modern sense. It was something else. Were these pillars human? Look closely at the pillars, and something unsettling appears. Some have carved arms, hands, belts, and loincloths. The horizontal top of the T may represent shoulders. In other words, these pillars may represent stylized human figures. Headless, silent, timeless. Were they ancestors, spirits, deities? No written records exist to answer this question, but the intentional human-like design strongly suggests ritual meaning. The first temple, or something more. When German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt began excavating Göbekli Tepe in the 1990s, he proposed a radical idea. Göbekli Tepe was the world's first temple. According to Schmidt, groups of hunter-gatherers gathered here seasonally to perform rituals, hold feasts, and reinforce social bonds. Religion, he argued, came before agriculture. This idea challenged one of the foundations of archaeology, the belief that farming led to complex society. Göbekli Tepe suggested the opposite. Belief may have created civilization, but the story changed later. Discoveries complicated this picture. Archaeologists found domestic structures, grinding stones, water cisterns carved into bedrock, evidence of cereal processing. These findings suggest that Göbekli Tepe was not just a ritual site. People lived here at least part of the year. This forced scholars to rethink everything. Perhaps Göbekli Tepe was both a sacred place and a living community in the Neolithic world. Ritual and daily life were not separate. They were one. Life before agriculture, Göbekli Tepe belongs to the pre-pottery Neolithic, a time before ceramics, before metal, before farming as we know it. The people here hunted gazelle, wild sheep, and wild cattle. They gathered wild grains like einkorn, wheat, and barley. Grinding stones show that cereals were processed in large quantities, long before full domestication. This suggests an important idea. The desire to gather people together may have pushed humans toward agriculture. Feeding workers, pilgrims, and builders required planning. Planning required stability. Stability led to farming. Göbekli Tepe may represent the moment when humanity crossed that threshold. A place built by cooperation. How was Göbekli Tepe built? Early estimates suggested hundreds of workers. Later experiments showed that 12 to 24 people could move and erect the pillars using ropes, levers, and teamwork. No kings, no slaves, no armies, just cooperation. This may be one of the earliest examples of large-scale communal effort in human history. Buried on purpose, one of the strangest aspects of Göbekli Tepe is this. The enclosures were intentionally buried. After decades or centuries of use, entire stone circles were filled with rubble and earth. Then, new structures were built on top. Why bury something so monumental? Some believe it was ritual closure. Others think it was practical, stabilizing the hill after landslides. But whatever the reason, the act was deliberate. Göbekli Tepe was not abandoned in chaos. It was carefully sealed. The skull cult fragments of human skulls found at the site show signs of modification, cuts, incisions, handling after death. This links Göbekli Tepe to the Neolithic skull cult, a belief system where ancestors' skulls were preserved, displayed, or ritualized. The dead were not gone. They remained part of the living world, not an observatory despite popular claims. Göbekli Tepe was not an ancient astronomical observatory. There is no reliable evidence that the structures align with stars or constellations. The mystery of Göbekli Tepe does not require aliens or lost civilizations. Human imagination was enough. Why Göbekli Tepe matters? Göbekli Tepe forces us to ask uncomfortable questions. Were early humans really primitive? Did religion shape society before agriculture? How much of our history is still buried? Only about 10% of the site has been excavated. Beneath the hill lie at least 20 more enclosures. The story is far from over. A silent beginning. Göbekli Tepe stands at the edge of human memory. A place built before history was written, before myths were recorded, before names were given to gods. And yet, it speaks, not with words, but with stone. It tells us that the human desire to believe, to gather, and to create meaning may be older than civilization itself. Perhaps the first cities were not built around farms. Perhaps they were built around stories,